All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the channel, Shelly's Millions, where we talk about money, budget, finance, and credit cards, points, all those kinds of things. As always, if there's a topic that you want to talk about, let me know in the comments, and we'll probably wind up talking about that. Um, I know that a lot of people are worried right now that they're not going to get their food stamps for the month of November because of the government shutdown. So I just want to remind everybody, try and look into your local food banks. That might be a resource for you if you're really struggling right now. And then happy Halloween, happy Dodgers winning the World Series, all of that fun stuff. So let me know in the comments, are you guys affected by the government shutdown? Do you guys know anybody who is worried about not receiving their food stamps? What their plan is? And again, like a lot of food banks are going to be at like your local church or your senior center or the VA. My mom is a veteran, but there's a food bank at like it's kind of like a veteran center. There's a hospital and there's other buildings on the VA campus kind of. And there's a food bank there and they didn't ask us for anything. They just and of course like my mom would not have to use the food bank, but she enjoys it. So we go there sometimes. She says that she has earned it. She qualifies because one, because she's a veteran, and two, because of her income. And we don't always eat meals together, which is one of the requirements. Like a lot of time I'm at work. So most of the time she is cooking her own meals and we're not eating together. And that's kind of by choice. If she ever wanted to not go to the food bank, of course, I would support that. And really, for the whole year she's lived here, we've gone twice because partially because we just found out about this one and when the days are. But they didn't ask for any requirements. You just got in line and, they give you what they give you. And the first time they had eggs and milk and bread and some vegetables, but, like, that's super cool because one of the things that's really expensive right now still is eggs. Good morning, Richard. How are you? I hope that you're doing good. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Um, Guys, and stay safe out there. One of my slogans this year has been health is wealth, and definitely it's flu season that seems to be going around. Um, One of the things that I don't know, they say that taking zinc really early, if you think you're starting to experience a cold, can really help you. Yeah, Richard, I would like to comment on that because Richard is saying something that I think probably a lot of people can identify with. And certainly this was my mom's case for a long time. Richard says, I'm not worried about losing SNAP because I only get $24, which that's such a low amount. And I'm so sorry. You know, when my mom was living by herself, she was going to the food bank. She was getting a senior meal box, which it's so weird. Now they're still delivering the senior food bank box to my mom's old address, even though she doesn't live there. And it's like she's tried to get it stopped, and they still just keep delivering it. And it'll go a couple months, and they won't deliver it, and then they deliver it again. So if anybody listening, has some connections, they want to stop government waste, maybe stop sending food boxes to people that don't even qualify. I'm sure that that happens a lot if someone passes away, and the person that's getting the food box, they don't need it, but they do share it because it goes to the trailer park. But like, it was for my mom because my mom qualified. You guys, um, I still back in the day, I had a sponsorship with Coldest water bottle. Like, this water bottle's 5 years old. This is one of the way and so I got it free because it was sponsored. But one, I would just like to share, you can see it has a dent. I've dropped it like 9 million times. This is like my one and only water bottle still. I don't even think I have a referral code that works anymore. But I do not buy the latest and greatest. I'm rocking the water bottle that I got that was sponsored in 2020. We're about to be in 2026, and this water bottle is just fine. I wash it out. Um, it keeps the water cold still, even if I leave it in the car, like overnight in the hot, even if I leave it in the car for a few days overnight, it still stays nice and cold. Um, but yeah, don't buy like a Stanley Cup. I wanted to kinda do the hype. They have some that I think are cute, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with this water bottle, and I don't have the space for, like, 9,000 cute water bottles. This one does the job. This is my work water bottle. Anyway, I already had my coffee today because it's the time change, so I woke up a little bit earlier. But that is one of my money saving tips, is don't buy into the trends, you know? You guys can see some Beanie Babies back here on the back shelf. So there have been times when I have not followed my own advice, but I try to for the most part. Anyway, and the Beanie Babies were when I was like a teenager and I was probably not as good with my money. I'm gonna take a sip of water. If you guys could please like the video. So when my mom was first getting food stamps, she got about $28 a month. And I will say that it was really nice because food banks often, although the last one we went to had milk, it was like a fresh gallon, half gallon of milk, and eggs. So, but a lot of times, like let's say you need, my mom's diabetic. So let's say you need sugar-free coffee creamer. They're not going to have that. But would some people say that's a luxury? Probably. Coffee's probably a luxury. But I know that a lot of times when you're struggling, you want to keep like you want something. Maybe you don't want a Stanley water bottle or whatever the trending water bottle is this year, but you want to be able to have a cup of coffee, right? Or whatever your thing is. And I do think you should be able to do that. And if you're diabetic, that's going to maybe mean that you don't use sugar, that you use, special sweetener. So they're not going to give you those kinds of specialty items at the food bank. A lot of times they will give you desserts, but like even if they get sugar-free desserts, it's not going to be very many and they might be out like by the time you're through that line. So that $24 or that $28 or that small amount, that can subsidize a lot of those specialty items. Like if you do want flavored cream and you want sweet and low packets, definitely that's a way to make that work. Or if you want to make, a certain meal and you get most of the items from the food bank, but you're missing like, a spice or something like that, that $24, that can help with that. PS, you guys, spices are really expensive. If you can get those at like Dollar Tree, um, get get the generic, all those kinds of things. Um, Richard says that his my computer has been giving me trouble. It just tried to give me trouble just now, and it's so frustrating. That's why I was late this morning. My computer just did like an update, and it's trying to like boot me out. Anyway, I lost my screen for a second, but it seems like it's back. But your Medicare Advantage plan gives you $200 for food. That is really cool. I think that's awesome. And even with inflation, my mom and I probably each spend about $200 a month total on food. If you're a single person, like, because a lot of times recipes usually are for like 2 to 4 people. So a lot of times if you're cooking, right, you're going to cook like a whole package of meat, or you're going to have more than one meal, especially if you're single, or even if you're just a household of two. Richard says, and this is true also, I don't like the food banks where I live. It's always food that I don't eat. So at our most recent trip to the food bank, we went pretty late. You guys know that I work nights a lot, so I don't get up and like get ready to go super early in the morning. Like even though we just had the spring forward fall back here, it Like, I feel like I had just enough sleep, and I didn't even work that late last night. Um, but I'm just not an early morning person because I usually work nights, right? Like, I'm sure I could be if I started, if I had a different work schedule. But when you work till 2 a.m. sometimes, you don't wanna be a super early morning person. So my mom and I think the food bank goes from, like, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and we got there at, like, 12:30, 12:45. So if you want the good stuff, you do need to kinda go early, and they were down to, like, turnips, leeks, green onions, and bread. Um I don't know how to cook a turnip. I do know how to use a leek. You can make like a nice potato leek soup. It's a nice little mild soup. I think you can also make a lot of like some Asian vegetable dishes with leeks. They're kind of just like a really overgrown but mild green onion. But those were the only things they had, and I don't think I like turnips. Although I think you can make almost anything into, like, a vegetable chip, right? So, if you get kale and you don't like kale, little olive oil, bake it in the oven, make homemade kale chips, those are pretty good. I think you can make turnips if you, like, shave them, I think you can make those into kind of like a vegetable chip, and almost any vegetable, if you put it in the oven with a little olive oil and some salt and pepper and bake it, you can kind of turn it into like a crispy, delicious chip. Okay. Andrew says, it seems like SNAP benefits are completely useless now because of the government shutdown. There's a food bank at the church by my house, and the line is very long. Yeah, and I also should mention, like, all of the headlines that I am seeing are just after layoff, after layoff, after layoff. Like, I don't think the job economy is good right now. I'm so fortunate to have a job that I like, that I've been going to for that I've had for a long, long time, right? And sometimes I worry about that job, or I worry about people that have left the job, and what they're going to do. And you guys know that I have a story about my friend who I manage a movie theater as my regular job. My friend does not work for the same chain that I work for. She used to. Um, but she went to a different chain, and then her location closed. And she got unemployment for a little bit, and then she found a new job. Her new job pays $8 an hour less, and I gotta do the math on that real quick. Um, she was definitely working 40 hours a week, so 8 times 40, that's $320 less per week. There's 52 weeks in a year. That's a difference of $16,640. Now, obviously, that's before tax. Let's divide that by 12 because we had a couple extra weeks in the year. So that's she's making $1,387 less per month, before taxes. Like, even me, if I suddenly made all right, we might do the movies. Um, aw, thank you. Bag Talk Media Group, Shelly Go To is through the pandemic. Yes. And I feel like we're headed back into those times. Like, it's hard if you lose your job. So, back in the pandemic, I was like, pursue your dream career. Like, you don't necessarily have to go back to that bad job. Now I'm gonna say, that, yeah, I kind of think it's worse too. It just like, at least with the pandemic, it was like, "Okay, well, when the pandemic's over, we're gonna go back to our jobs, everything's gonna reopen, it's gonna be great." Now it's like everything's reopen, and all you read in the headlines is about how companies are laying off, like, major, major companies. Retirement, Richard says, "Tomorrow I get my retirement Social Security. So far, the shutdown hasn't affected that." Yeah. Um, Same with my mom. She's getting her checks on time. Okay. Tyler says, my families at school are really struggling to find work. Too much uncertainty for businesses with the economy and all. Now, SNAP being delayed, they're panicking, understandingly so. It's so sad. And I don't know if any of you guys live in like apartment complexes, but I will say that like at my so I was mentioning how government waste because they're still sending this senior box of food to my mom's old address and she doesn't even live there anymore. But they have like by the mail area is a picnic table and you can kind of like leave things by the mail area. So that might be like something, if you have extra, maybe just go around your neighborhood and see if anybody is able to like donate anything. Probably somebody has a can of something in their fridge or pantry that they don't need or even want. And maybe like talk to like the apartment complex owner and see if it would be possible to just kind of, take things, leave things on the table. Obviously, not perishable things, but that could even really help people. Like, even though that food box isn't going to my mom and that's government waste, the person who's getting it leaves it out by the table and it really helps. It still really helps someone. Bag Talk says CEOs cutting jobs to put money in the bank. Bezos added a few billion to his bank account with cuts. To them, it's not personal. Yeah, and it's so interesting because I've met so many of my friends through work because I've said this before, it's been a minute, but like I spend more time with the people that I work with than I do at home with my mom. A lot of times you spend more time at work with your work people than you do with your spouse or with your kids. Like we're just at work a lot, right? So you build relationships with those people. But I had somebody very wisely say, "These people are not your friends." And am I friendly with some of them now after work? Absolutely. But like the company, and I am so grateful for my job, but like boundaries, like that job, those people, they're not your friends. You're there to perform a service for them that they're paying you for. And I hope that many of you are lucky like I am, and that you're able to enjoy your job and that you're able to enjoy your work environment and that you like what you do. Um, but and that you develop maybe some real friendships that you take with you if you ever leave your job. Like my friend that I was telling the story about, we met at at the job. My friend that rents out the space in my garage, we didn't meet at work, but that's why I started working for this company. Because they all said that the manager was cool and would hire us, and then there were, like, 3 friends working there, and the manager was cool, and I was like, "I wanna work there," and then I just never left. But, like, we worked for the same company and all of that, but it is really, you know, always keep in mind that and they have a business to run too, right? It's their job to maintain those professional boundaries as well. It's really difficult and tricky. Um, like I would like to think that any time that they're laying somebody off, it's not like, "Oh boy, I'm like," I don't wanna think that anybody would actually be happy to do that, but it is easier if you maintain professional boundaries. And, like, it's like, I don't love saying that, but it's true, like, that is your workplace. Backtalk Media is saying, "Learn AI." And I always think that you should better yourself. I'm gonna try and go on, my Instagram feed. Okay, it's as if it knew because, isn't it always listening? Okay. This was literally the very first thing that popped up um when I logged onto my Instagram account. Last chance to get ahead. You're invited November 6th to 8th. Get clear on AI in 3 days. This is the AI Advantage Summit. Register now. I don't know if it's free registration. And it's oh yeah, free live event. That's being hosted, I guess, by Tony Robbins is the main, or at least he's the main face that I recognize on that. Um, and they do say that that's important to learn these things, and I'm always gonna recommend that people learn new skills and try and better themselves. Let's see. Okay. So the 4th, the 6th through the 8th, that's gonna be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I normally work those days. I have not registered for this. Let's just see the details. I think I work Thursday morning, but it's free, so could I just, like, log in and then do it? Let's see. AI won't replace you, but someone using it effectively will. It's a scare tactic, but, reserve my free seat now. Does it say when? Okay, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Mark Benioff, and special guest. AI is moving at lightning speed. Review 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 2 p.m. And you can join virtually from anywhere. Let me tell you again what this is called in case you guys want to sign up. I know I can't, and I wonder if you can sign up and then like you don't have to sit in on it. I wonder if you can like catch up the second day. I'm also going to say that sometimes I like an in-person event if you can go, because I think it's important to meet like-minded people. Um, I don't mean like politically necessarily. I mean people that are like, "Oh, I'm trying to better myself in this way." Like get yourselves in a room full of people that are also trying to better themselves in that same way. And maybe you can't do this free seminar, but like on LinkedIn, there are a lot of certifications that you can take. There are a lot of ways now, even YouTube, right? But like I think it's cooler to get like a LinkedIn certification. Um, I wonder if I can share my screen and see what we see on LinkedIn in terms of like AI courses. And Tyler, I just want to mention if you're still watching, who's saying that the families at school are struggling to find work, I don't have a great answer about work. I will say that somebody else that I watch that I look up to is Gary Vee, and he talks about going to like yard sales, thrift stores, secondhand shops. He said that he still thinks that the easiest way to turn $100 into $1,000 is by going to these secondhand stores and buying things and reselling them. And there's eBay, there's Mercari, there's Poshmark. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Um, Depop. Um, so a lot of times you can buy things and resell them. I've seen a lot of social media that's saying that's getting harder to do at places like the Salvation Army and things like that. But even like if I look around in my house, I have things that I could resell. I'm looking at you, these Beanie Babies, although they're not worth that much. Um, and then for me, yeah, Goodwill. So for me, oh, and um, I live a little bit in the bad neighborhood, and so sometimes, like when my friend was looking for furniture for the garage that they use for work from home, we call it the ghetto giveth and the ghetto taketh away. So let me give you two examples of what that is. There's so much furniture just sitting on the side of the road by where I live. So if you need like a little table, you need like a little TV stand, you need a bookshelf, you need a dresser. Um, oh my God, I found my neighbor put out some chairs and I promptly do I have a picture. I feel like I have a picture of this on my Instagram feed. Um, like, I took the chairs and I made it into something. I don't have a picture of that on my Instagram feed, but, Why don't I have a picture of that? Anyway, I made it into something cute. Like, just there we needed chairs, they had some outside. I redesigned them, like, I covered them with fabric with a staple gun. Boom, new chairs, those lasted us a while. And then so, like, drive around your neighborhood, and there's a lot of people that do furniture flipping, right? Like, I look at it, and I'm like, "I would never pay that for what they're doing." But they're finding, like, dressers on the side of the table, sanding them down, painting them, and reselling them for, like, $400. That is not small change. I don't have the patience, like even this dresser, right? I don't know if you can see. This is one layer, then there's this little lip, then there's this lip, and then there's some hardware on the side. So there's like 3 little lips. I don't have the patience to, like, sand that down. I'm not handy in that way. But I am like, "Oh, this is good enough, like, to bring into my house." Always wipe the stuff down, especially if you get it from a not great neighborhood. Because, like, I'm just gonna say, I'm not saying I live in this neighborhood, but sometimes there's roaches, right? And then just in the neighborhood, and when the houses are really close, most houses have roaches. I pay for pest control now. I try very hard not to, but do clean the furniture off before you bring it into your house. Um, but that furniture can be good, and you could potentially flip it. Hi, Christopher. It's good to see you. AI is such an industry buzzword. There's so much misunderstanding about how it's used and or needed in our lives. AI isn't something new. Big business has been using algorithms to focus ad revenue. Absolutely. And hello, Cindy. Um, Now I have to so that's where the ghetto giveth, right? The ghetto giveth when you find a good set of chairs that you bring into your house and you refurbish. Now, the ghetto also taketh away. So, I had this fire pit, right? Like a $20 fire pit, probably from Walmart or Big Lots or somewhere. I like a fire pit, but we also have a tree, and it's really small back there, and it gets really smoky whenever you use it. And so the truth of the matter is, this is now the second one I bought. But really, I use it once and then it sits out there, it gets rusty, the bottom literally falls out, the wood that's in there gets wet, so I'm not able to use it again, and it goes in the trash, except it doesn't actually go in the trash. My mom was like, "You filled up the trash on trash day." And I did, and it sat in there a week, and I kind of hope sometimes the bums come up in the yard too and they take whatever they need, but they didn't in this case. But it's metal, and we have like a metal, I don't know. There's like a truck and it comes by and it gets the used metal, scrap metal. So I just put it out on the curb and, like, I don't know, probably less than 45 minutes later, it was gone. So a lot of times you like one man's trash is another man's treasure. So I'm just saying, like, that's a viable option. For me, I have a rule now that I follow. If it's not for selling things on eBay, and that is I have to be able to profit at least $20. Like, I have a lot of glasses that you guys notice I don't really wear anymore because, like, reading up close, I don't need them, or my prescription will be old. Some of the glasses aren't worth anything. Some of them are, like, kinda broken or whatever. Could I sell them for 5 or $10 on eBay? Probably. But then you still have to, like, I wanna make sure that I'm getting value for my time as well. Now, if you're really broke, maybe that's not a factor. Like, if you don't have a job, but I have a job, so I wanna make sure that I'm gonna profit at least $20 because I'm gonna spend time taking pictures of the item. I'm gonna take time listing the item. I'm gonna take time making sure that as soon as it's sold, that I print the shipping label, that I pack it up, that I, find a box to pack it in, that I use packing tape, and then a lot of times the seller pays for shipping. Then I'm gonna need to drive it to the post office, and I'm gonna need to make sure that I get it there, so that's gas to go to the post office. That's time. That's my time for, like, listing it and, doing that. So I wanna make sure that I'm profiting at least $20. So if I bought something for 10, I'd wanna, and I don't count my time though. So let's say bought something for $10, I'd wanna make sure that I sold it for at least 30. I feel like that is worth my time. Okay. So back to my friend Chris saying that AI is such a industry buzzword. Uh, so at my movie theater, we do Q&As a lot, and one of the directors just said that he will never, like, use AI, he will never use it to replace, actors or anything like that. But there's also, like, there's CGI, I guess that would be, like, computer generated images, and sometimes have you guys heard the phrase like, "Oh, the CGI in that movie is so bad?" I think, right, and I don't know, but I think you can, like, use AI to be let's say okay, I think that the live action Lion King, I think, used a lot of CGI, and I'm not sure it was good. I haven't actually seen it. And, Disney, I love you. I am not slamming you in any way. But let's say that you were like, "Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, I might have to take a work call. Ah, wait, I'm so confused. Scott says he's off and Chris said to schedule it differently than what it says. But spotlight ads are playing, but I think it's all right. Kind of scared it's going to play too early, but maybe not. Probably have to manually start it." So, speaking of AI, things are automated. Um, so today's the time change, spring forward, fall back. And movies are now mostly digital. Sorry, I'm gonna totally like switch from the CGI thing. Anyway, let me wrap up that thought and then I'll tell you my work crisis. Um, if your CGI is bad, I think you could literally type into AI and put your image, "Hey, I made a picture of a lion using CGI and it doesn't look very realistic. Can you please like render this image so that it looks more like a real lion?" And I think that AI can just, like, do that. Now, is that concerning? Because is that gonna take a lot of people's jobs? Maybe, but there still has to be somebody there doing the prompt and making sure that the lion doesn't have, like, 18 toes and things like that. But I really think, and maybe this what this seminar is about, that AI can really help you, like, up your game if you're using it correctly. And I do think, like, CGI, that I'm sure people when CGI came out were like, "That's taking our jobs," and things like that. Alright, so here's how automation is, like, failing me currently and worrying one of my new assistants. Um, the movies are programmed through a program to start automatically at the time you tell them to, and he's saying that it's not doing that. Um Hang on, I gotta reread this. Please wait, what? Chris is on today. I'm sorry, I'm texting, and I can't double check, but I wanna make sure my coworker is okay. Chris said to schedule it differently than what it says, but spotlight ads are playing early. I think it's all right. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Alright, AI is supposed to take away a lot of programmer jobs. It's supposed to take a lot of jobs in general. There is a clip I work at a movie theater, I scoop popcorn. Something opened near me called the Tesla Diner, and if you guys know anything about me, you guys know that I wanted a Tesla for a really long time. I'm not sure I do anymore. Um, but now I'm back to my usual line of thought, which is I'm just gonna drive my current car until the wheels fall off. And I'm back to that, like, why have a car payment at all? Um, anyway, and Elon Musk got, like, super weird, I think, and now I'm not, like, I don't wanna support him. But, at the Tesla diner, there's like a robot that scoops popcorn. But let me tell you, one, that thing did not fill the popcorn very full. It was kind of messy. It was not very fast at scooping the popcorn. You're not going to be able to say, "Hey, can you just fill it halfway so I can go butter it?" Um, the robot's like doesn't see. It's not going to understand all that, and it's definitely not going to do it like faster or efficiently. Sorry, texting my coworker. Anyway, so the time changes like messing up the automatic start times on our movies. And speaking of movies, this seems like a good segue into um seems like a good segue into what the top 10 movies were this year. Not this year. You guys know what I mean. The numbers. All right. So, make sure I'm sharing the screen that I want to. Yes, I am. Okay. So this week's top 10 movies were Regretting You. I think that's like a comedy. Not a is it a comedy? It's like a romance, a rom-com. Regretting You, Black Phone, Chainsaw Man the movie, Begonia. You guys, I don't know exactly what that movie's about, but it's the new Yorgos Lanthimos movie. He did The Lobster and he did Poor Things, and I know those are not everyone's cup of tea, but he's just like he's my kind of weird, and I like that, so I want to see that. Oh, they re-released Back to the Future. That was the number 5 movie. You guys, I'm gonna just share this with you, and this is meant to be funny. So I have kind of naturally curly hair, and when I brush it, it looks like this, right? So people, it kind of looks like it just didn't brush it, but I did. I'm going to straighten it later before I go to work. One time, my friend was like, "Ha ha ha, you look like you have dark brown hair." I kind of do, you guys. It's kind of just like frizzy gray, crazy hair, dark brown hair. Now you'll never be able to unsee it. You're welcome. Um, Okay. The number 6 movie is Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere. The number 7 movie is Tron Eras. The number 8 movie is called Stitchhead. Number 9 is Good Fortune. And number 10 is One Battle After Another. That's supposed to be really good. I have not had a chance to see it. And you guys, you know what I really want to see? Netflix doesn't report their numbers, but there's 2 Netflix movies. Actually, there's a bunch of Netflix movies out right now. They're in theaters and they're coming to streaming that I want to see. I want to see Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and that is that's on the big screen right now. If you search for it, it's also going to be on Netflix on November 7th. And then the other Netflix movie that I really wanna see on the big screen is, like, is it I is whatever that is it just Demon Slayer? I don't know what it's called. I haven't watched it yet on Netflix, but it looks like a lot of fun. Netflix K-Pop Demon Hunter? Is that it? Hold on. I'm not into K-pop at all. Well, I don't know. I'm not familiar with K-pop at all, but I wanna Netflix K K Yeah, Netflix K-pop Demon Hunters, that's back in the theater, and I wanna see it. Apparently, that was a really popular Halloween costume this year, um, and I would love to see that on the big screen. I am a big fan of kids movies. I know, keeps me young at heart. Anyway, okay. Cindy says, "I should love my hair. For many years, your hair was straight, flat, and fine. Now I'm getting gray and I've got some curl and body. My hair is so light. I love it. My hair is like really light. It's fine. My hair was straight and flat. And sometimes, so here's the problem, right? Just talk about hair for a minute because why not? If you guys want to talk about anything finance and budget related, just let me know in the comments. I'm happy to switch gears. So I washed it and showered yesterday, and the curl on that was pretty nice when I went to work yesterday. And then today's day 2, and so today is where I'll normally like straighten it. So the issue is I've now slept on it. And after I've slept on it, then I need to like brush it. And then when I brush it, it looks weird. So it definitely does have like some curl and some wave, and I don't quite know how to keep that going on, like, day 2, but yeah, when I was little, it was really straight and really blonde. Um, okay. Also, you guys, we are getting into, we're getting into the holiday season, and so we're about to see, like, a ton of ads that are gonna make us think that we need the latest, greatest water bottle when really what we have from 5 years ago, if it still works, that's fine. If it's got like, so this is stainless steel inside. You can't see, but I'm gonna drink some water. Um, Sorry if I keep like getting distracted and looking. I've definitely still a little bit of work crisis is going on. I might have to cut out. I normally stream for an hour, but I was having computer problems today, so I got on a little bit late. But I might need to go in and rescue my coworker. I don't like how I, oh my god, Cindy, I'm gonna show you a picture of me with short hair in a second. Anyway, don't overconsume. Um, if you have a big family, I'm gonna suggest doing something like um Secret Santa, so that way you're only buying one gift. Maybe keep it under, let's go with inflation. I used to say $20, let's go with $25 this year so that you're not buying for the whole family. Just do Secret Santa, buy one gift for one person. That way everybody still gets something. I You know what? I need to call this person and see if they're coming down here. I have a friend, her name's Roxanne. She's not a super close friend. Her family, they get together on Christmas Eve and they play the piano. All the neighbors come over and they do like Secret Santa, but everybody brings a gift and you just put it on the table. And I remember we didn't know that. Me and the person I was dating at the time, we went over to their house. And you know what they always have? They have like a 6 pack of socks and they have like a couple other things like that. And they have extras so that if you didn't bring something, you can still participate. And it was really cool. Cindy, I gotta show you a picture of me with short hair. You have 3 kids to buy for, and their mother we get Christmas for, and that's it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, hold on one second, let me see. Oh, but it looks like it was already like 30, but mapping is oh. Hmm. Sorry, guys. One of my other coworkers was sick today. Okay. We like doing things together for the holidays. We have enough things. We can only use so much. Okay. Again, perfect message. And you guys, I actually need to follow it. 1 in, 2 out. So if I buy 1 pair of shoes, I need to get rid of 2 pairs of shoes. Um, Maybe not things like board games. My mom and I like playing board games at the holidays. We almost always play Monopoly. Now we call it the train game, but it's actually called Ticket to Ride. Last year I bought Battleship. I'm not sure. I remember we didn't actually play it. I remember the pieces being kind of little. I like Clue. Um, okay, hopefully this person is nice, but hello. Um, I don't wanna say that out loud because it seems, I don't know. Okay. Also, my mom and I really like driving around and looking at the Christmas lights. We have this tradition, there's a restaurant called Tops. There's 2 different locations, um, but we go and we get, uh, junior cheeseburgers because, like, anyway, we each get a junior cheeseburger, and then we share an order of small fries because their order of small fries comes in like a giant tray, right? So 2 junior cheeseburgers, 1 order of fries. We do normally splurge and get a drink. I feel like drinks suck up a lot of the food budget, but we'll get a drink because, celebrating the holidays, and by drink, I mean, like, Diet Coke and, like, I'll get an orange Bang. Um, and then we drive around and we look at the Christmas lights, and then we come home. I know gas is expensive, so that might not be an option for some people, but maybe you could offer to take someone else's kids and drive them around. You could start a tradition where you could start a tradition where you learn a TikTok holiday dance, right? And you have to film it and, like, send it to the relatives or something. There are a lot of, like, really cheap, good ideas, that don't involve money. It's supposed to be okay. Okay. So this is an unemployment question. And again, where I really was focused is talking about it in the state of California. Right now, I don't believe that there is a way to extend unemployment benefits. There was during the pandemic, um, but you would wanna look into the oh, hold on. Let me pull up the EDD, website for this person for just 1 second. Can you get UI extended if you're in college? California Training Benefits is what it's called. Okay, this is I don't feel like the AI thing is right on this. You can potentially get an extension while in college, but you must meet specific criteria and get approval for the training program oh, maybe that's what it is, before you reach your 16th week of unemployment. You guys, I always like trying to bring up the actual web page and try not to freak out. I will also say that even though it's really hard getting a job right now, and Joel's mentioning the layoffs right now, it's possible that they're going to migrate to gig apps like Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash, saturating a market and making that industry more slow and worse off. Yes, but I do think stores like Target are hiring for the holidays. Um, Christmas tree Christmas tree farms, and they're probably already hiring. Where else? Like, theme parks, if there's one near you. Honestly, guys, movie theaters are hiring because we're about to go into our busy season with movies like Wicked opening. Um, so there are still a lot of jobs that are looking for people right now. Okay, but let's look back into this training program. Okay, so you need to join the CTB, so that is the California Training Benefits Program. It allows you to attend school or training while receiving your benefits. If you're approved for it, you'll need to keep certifying, but you do not so it waives. You don't have to be available for work, look for a job, or accept a job while you're in school or training. So that's what it's going to waive. You need to join it. You need to have a current and valid unemployment benefits claim. You have to let them know that you're interested. So you can contact them online, by phone, or in person at the America Job Center of California, the AJCC, as soon as you can. You need to contact them before your 16th week. So 4, 8, 12, 16. So before the end of roughly month 4, you need to let them know about that program. And then if you qualify, you can get extra weeks of benefits. But how many extra weeks? Tell us when you're okay. You must contact us before the 16th week of your benefit to qualify. If you qualify, you can get extra weeks. Learn more at Qualify for a training extension. So we're going to hit that link. If you're approved for CTB, a training extension can provide additional weeks of benefits while you complete your school or training. Only TE is allowed for each CTB approved training period. You must contact us before the 16th week. To be eligible, you must have a current and a regular unemployment claim, meet the eligibility criteria to receive the benefits, start training before the current claim expires, be approved for one of the training categories under the CTB. But basically, it's saying contact them, and you need to contact them also before the balance reaches zero. A training extension is based on your regular unemployment claim at the date you were approved. Your weekly benefit amount is the same as indicated on your notice of unemployment insurance award. You will only receive the benefit while enrolled in a CTB approved training and have a balance above zero on your TE claim. However, if you qualify for a new unemployment claim, while there are remaining weeks on your extension, you must collect benefits on the new claim, even if the new claim has a lower benefit amount. And that can happen based on the look back period. So anyway, it sounds like you're gonna need to contact them and really, always try not to worry. We can just do the best we can. So Cindy wants to know if restaurants are hiring. I don't know if restaurants are hiring right now. Where I live, it seems like restaurants are closing, quite honestly. Like, I hate to say that, but it seems like the restaurants are closing. Fast food chains are hiring. It might not be like a great shift. I'm sure they're looking for people to do that overnight shift. I have so much respect for people that do that shift. I also I'm a lot of times I know I'm one of their clients, like when I'm getting off of work at like 2 a.m. and things like that. I'm hitting that Taco Bell drive-through. But that's when his Alex says that they'd work in a movie theater. Aw, especially if I was the boss, it would be fun to go to work and I would look forward to going to work. Sometimes I am not sure that my staff feel that way. Feel that way. Because I have, like if I come in and it's dirty, I have to say something to them because that's my job and they don't always like that. Um, but yeah, and I do have to spend time in the office a lot. We have There's so many programs that, like, roll out. I wish I was on the floor with the staff more because I actually really enjoy talking with them and learning what their interests are and encouraging them to go out and pursue those interests as much as, like, if they're a good employee, like, I want them to stay with me forever. I also want them to, like, spread their wings and fly and, like, go out into the world and be successful, and a lot of times, um so where I work, we're not allowed to become friends. Cindy, don't you worry, I'm gonna show you that picture of me with short hair. But a lot of times we're not a lot of times, we're not allowed to, like, be Instagram friends or anything with our staff while we're their boss. But when they leave, there's nothing that prevents us from doing that. So a lot of times I will go out and, we'll become Instagram friends or acquaintances or Facebook friends after they leave. Aw, no, I don't need any gifts, honestly, we were just talking about that. Less consumption, save your money, just do something nice for someone in the future. That's really all I ask, honestly. Be kind, like, really, 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 that is the biggest thing. Okay, so I'm looking for a picture of me with shorter hair. Anyway, I'm always the manager that I will go out and I will become acquaintances with the staff, like, after they leave the theater, and, so sometimes, you get to see, like, they post where they've gone, and it's, like, it's rewarding to see them go out and be successful. Okay, now I know that I was very little, but, that is me with short hair. As a matter of fact, I appear like I'm with a Christmas tree behind me, and, my roommate said that I had curtain bangs. Well, my best friend that lives in so I don't feel like I look very good with short hair. I look like a little boy. I still look kind of the same, but I don't feel like short hair suits me. Maybe it's just the curtain bang. I don't know, you guys. My face was so much more round when I was little. It's long now. Anyway, oof. Short hair is not for me, but I do need a haircut. It's probably been like a year. Anyway, so try to find like a part-time job. Maybe one let me think of something else. Like a social media person, like a marketing agency, those jobs can really lead to somewhere, and I do think that those are coming out. Cindy says, "Styling length, shorter hair, look good." I've had shorter hair throughout the years, and I just don't ever seem to be able to make it work. Andrew says, "Christmas is near, and that Mariah Carey song, 'All I Want for Christmas' will drive me nuts again. I don't like our time change either." Oh, yeah, dark at 5. It will be dark. I like the night, and I like the dark. And I like that I got to sleep in a little bit today, and, what else? I don't know. I love, winter. I think it might be because I'm born in the summer, so, like, I love, like, the rain and, it doesn't snow here in California, and I don't know if I'd like the snow, like, that might be too cold, but I do like, the wintry fall vibe. Um, I don't like that Mariah Carey song, but I do like Christmas. As a matter of fact, I had my mom so this is what I did for Halloween. I went to work for a little bit because of course I did. I wasn't scheduled, but oops, I missed a project deadline. And, oh, winter if you have arthritis, ugh. Okay, Cindy, I am starting to feel you on this. Why is that? Like, I read about this, and it's something about, like, the atmospheric pressure, like, the cold is not good on your bones. So I'm like, I'm 48, and I am starting like, it's like my bones know when it's about to rain too. Like, "Oh, I'm sore. Oh, yeah, it's gonna rain in 2 days." Well, that's why. The atmospheric pressure, it is real. Getting old, was not prepared for it, honestly. And I know that 48 is not old, but, like, I feel I feel old. I don't feel young. Anyway, so for Halloween, I went to work, I finished a project. Apparently, I still didn't do it very well. We got a lot of projects going on right now. I'll get it right because that's the kind of person I am. Um, and I'll apologize for not doing it right the first time, and then I'm gonna get my act together, and I'm gonna do it the right way. Then, I came home and we watched, Scream, right? And when I was younger, I used to be able to watch, like, scarier movies, and they weren't as scary. Now, I'm like, I need to watch like, I'm glad my mom lives with me, and whenever I watch something scary, I'd like her to be there. Um, she went in her bedroom for too long. I was like, "What you doing?" Because 'Cause I'm still watching Scream out here by myself. It's like, "Come back." So we watched Scream, and then after that, there's a Disney show that I like. It's called, like, Vampirina or something like that. It's a new Disney show, and it's short. I was like, "I have to watch something nice, but that's still Halloween and that's short so that I don't have bad dreams." And it was a Christmas episode, but of a kind of like, Halloweeny type show, and I was like, "Okay, well, Halloween's over and it's time for Christmas." And then yesterday morning, November 1st, I changed out, like, the towels from being, like, Halloween themed, and they're all Christmas themed now, and we'll probably watch The Nightmare Before Christmas because I feel like that blends both movies. Um, you're 33 and your diabetes and being overweight has me feeling like 56. Yeah, like, I am not diabetic, my mom is, um, and, but definitely I'm overweight, and that's not helping. I am gonna say, and this is incredibly expensive, right? So maybe it's not the time, but ask your doctor about GLP-1s. Really, really, really. So I'm just gonna disclose if anybody's like, Shelley looks a little thinner. I started taking Zepbound. My insurance doesn't cover it. It's very expensive if your insurance doesn't cover it, but there are ways to get it discounted, but it's still like a little bit crazy expensive. Um, but I swear, like, once I hit 40, I was not able to lose weight on my own, no matter what I did. I could eat very little. I could eat high protein. I could eat low carb. I could do all that and go to the gym. And it just like the weight wouldn't budge and it kept climbing. Used to be, you just heard me earlier in this stream talk about how I hit up Taco Bell at 2 a.m. So obviously that's not great. But if you didn't eat dinner at work and you're hungry after work, sometimes that's what you do. That's what I do at least. And then I would come home and go straight to bed. So it used to be before my 40s that I could hit up Taco Bell after work at night, maybe overeat a little bit, go to bed, wake up the next morning. Maybe the scale would be higher because, yeah, I ate a pound of Taco Bell the night before and I'm a pound heavier in the morning. But then I would just go to the gym and go about my day. And the next day I'd be right back to the weight I was prior to eating a pound of Taco Bell. After 40, that weight, like, you'd gain the pound and it was there just there to stay no matter what you did, and, like, you know what? It's not realistic for me to never eat Taco Bell or fast food, right? It's not realistic to just totally cut those things out, permanently, at least not for me. And I do think I eat okay most of the time, but the one time of, like, going to eat fast food and the weight just would never come off, and it was making me sad, it was making me feel like, a failure, and my doctor had been like, "You should try." So, Zepbound is like, Ozempic or Mounjaro or any of those kinds of things. It's a shot, but it's really helped me, and you know what? It's crazy because it seems like almost all my friends are on it. So my doctor had recommended it, and I was like, "No, no, 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 no." And then finally, I was like, "Let me try it." And it has helped. Also, I was about to have surgery on my hands. It can help with some inflammation and things like that. And it has I don't feel like, at least right now, I don't feel like I need the surgery. I feel you on this. Do you but are you diabetic? Are you doing the shots for your diabetes? Because, my mom is diabetic, and, like, I had to have her help explain to me how to do the shots, and I still don't like them. It is only a once a week shot, and I think now they're doing a pill form. But I am gonna say, yeah, my mom is type 2 as well. Um, it has been really helpful for me. Don't be hard on yourself, sounds like you're starting school, try and keep your health insurance because it is gonna be important to, just speak with your doctor regularly, but maybe ask them about it because I personally have found it really, really, really helpful, and it's supposed to help. I also have high blood pressure, it's supposed to help regulate that, and it also can have a lot of side effects, right? So talk to your doctor because 'cause I'm not a doctor, but it has really helped me, and they also say that once you're on it, you have to be on it for life, which I don't love that either, but anyway, might be an option for you. But anyway, I'm gonna head out. I'm going to make sure that my coworker's okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't buy into the hype. Oh, it's something else that my mom and I do, very free, very low cost. I do pay for the streaming services. But guys, another thing, like maximize your credit cards because a lot of them have streaming credits. So make sure that you're using those, maximizing those, putting the right kind of billing on the right kind of card. Um, so I do pay for the streaming services, but we watch like a different Christmas movie almost every day. Download the app that tells you if you're healthy or not, what you buy, sources and everything. Okay. It's called the Yuka app. All right, I will look into that. And for the rest of you, have a great rest of your Sunday. Okay, it's got a picture. It's going to look like the Instacart app. All right, I'll look it up. So if you do need, oh, I don't want it to be scary. There's so much like bad processed food, and I am trying to avoid that. Like something I love, for a snack, I like Cheez Its and I like those Pepperidge Farm goldfish crackers. Those are nothing but, like, processed food. Processed foods are not great for your system and are really, like, bad for inflammation. But when you're trying to, like, avoid inflammation, it's basically like, "Just eat vegetables," and it's like, "Okay, but I have to eat something besides vegetables, and fruits." But anyway, hang on. I'll forget this if I don't look at it right now, so hang on. Dylan, let's get ready for the change. Hang on. It's called Yuka. Okay. It's a food and cosmetic scanner. Okay. Well, we'll look at it. People seem to like it. It's got like, okay, so I'm downloading it. We're gonna check this out. Maybe it'll tell me about processed foods. Anyway, peanuts. Are peanuts bad for you or they're good for you? Um, I most nuts are supposed to be good for. Uh-oh. All right, well, we'll see. Okay. Anyway, we watched Christmas like a different Christmas movie all the way up until Christmas. Maybe not starting quite this early in November because that would be what, like 60 Christmas movies, and that once you've watched a couple of Christmas romances, they're all the same, but we like watching Christmas movies that are just on TV. We like playing games. We like looking at Christmas lights, and all of those things are free. I wanna say that um, even libraries rent out games. Okay. V says, "Have you ever tried the popcorn on a string?" I've tried to make it to use it as a decoration because I work at a movie theater, so I was like, "How cool is this?" I don't know what voodoo these people that are doing that is, but I used real popcorn from a real movie theater and a needle and a thread. And it's like when you're trying to push one piece of popcorn on, like the other pieces of popcorn break. I don't know if I'm just like a beast and I'm using too much force or what, but like, I did not have any luck with popcorn on a string. That would be a free activity for me because like I could bring some popcorn home if I wanted. I do eat popcorn when I go to the movie theaters. Hobby Lobby makes them. Yeah, because, like, somebody and I watched a tutorial, I was like, "I cannot be, like, this bad at this," but no, I am, and I don't know how anybody would be good at putting popcorn on a string. Huge plastic popcorn. Yeah, if it's fake, that seems like a good idea. Or maybe there's a spray that you can put on real popcorn, but I tried using popcorn from a movie theater and a needle and thread, and let me just say that that seemed like a good idea. It was not a good idea. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your Sunday. If you're struggling with food right now, please check out your local food banks. Those are often run by the state or the city or county and not by the federal government. Yeah. Oh my god, maybe like 10 or 15 pieces, and by the time I did that, that most of the ones that were on there were broken, and then, like, it's so easy for it to break. I don't know if you're supposed that, like, the 15 pieces that were on there, they didn't look like big, nice, full pieces of popcorn, which is what they were when I originally put them on and was originally holding them. They were like sad little broken pieces, you couldn't even hardly tell it was popcorn anymore. And that project was gonna take, like, 9,000 years. That was not gonna work. Also, maybe don't buy a Christmas tree this year, because that is also especially, real Christmas trees aren't necessarily sustainable. They're like, we're cutting down trees in the forest, and some places are not replanting, and you're using it for 6 weeks, and then you're throwing it away, and half the time it's not even making your house smell good anymore, which is part of the point. So maybe see if, like, a friend has, like, an old, um, like, a fake Christmas tree in their garage that they're not gonna use this year and see if you could put that up. And I vacillate between that. My mom's allergic to Christmas trees, so now that she lives with me, I don't really have to think about it. I won't be getting one. But yeah, I don't and I did do a Christmas tree one year. 'Cause sometimes it's nice, but, like, most of the time, not this year. This year is not get a Christmas tree. Make a tree of lights on your wall. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Maybe we'll do that. Alright, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and, I'll see you next week.